Hello. Uh, okay, okay. Technical difficulties yet again, but it's fine. It's fine. I will fix. I will fix. I'm not sure why it keeps doing this. This is my fault. No, not the calculator. Anything but the calculator. Alright, let me try this. No. Okay, this is weird. Scarred. Oh, save. Okay. That's okay. Don't really know how that happened. I didn't do anything. Okay. Welcome all my lovely goblins and ghouls of the internet. I'm Hanyo, your demon cinephile. And as you could probably tell by the title, uh, sorry. We're doing more Higurashi tonight! Yay! I don't know, I had that function back on. I I need to go back into settings and turn it off. I have the VC phase set to do like auto motion emotions, like to detect my face and it would adjust for me. But it's so sensitive. Or maybe my natural face is just sleepy and the model just goes to it. I don't know. Like I like it, but this is kind of weird. Like I have my eyes up. My eyes up to fade my blood. Why is it? Why is it going that weird droopy face? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! The that'll fix you. Gone. Little bitch. Yeah, but how's everybody doing today? I had a good day. I got the second volume of Higurashi Go. You can't see because it's in my hands. You can't see it. But you see it on my Twitter. It was so good. It's just a fun read. I technically already read it because I read the version that was on. You know the technically the free version. But this is I love Higurashi. I would definitely pay to do this. Also because I also have money on my what's it called? Second Charles account. So yeah, gotta use it up when I can. I'm sorry, I had the book in my hands and now I'm just looking over it. And it's so cute. Sadako and Keiichi. It's just a fun, cute relationship. Until they don't. Until they don't. Yeah, but this is really good. Still kind of mix of how it compares to the anime version, Go and Sotsu. Because Go and Sotsu, they had their problems, but it was still a good show. At least I think it was. The manga does a better version, does better with the characters. The characters feel more like their traditional selves, while the anime they felt kind of out of character. And let me turn the audio on for the for the thing. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but like in the anime, it felt kind of out of character at times, and the manga does a little bit better at that. But there's also these little weird, subtle changes that change the overall feeling of the story in big ways. That I'm not sure which one I prefer. Like I kind of prefer the anime to a certain extent because it shows a lot more of the let's just say uh, toxic relationship between certain characters, and that's not as well shown in the manga version, but almost everything else about the manga version, about the build up to the antagonist and how she becomes the antagonist, is so much better than the anime. I don't know. But it's Higurashi, it's when they cry, so technically it's all canon. A witch did it. So yeah, just say that whenever something in Higurashi does not make sense, just say a witch did it, and it all makes sense. Trust me, it will. Everything you see in this show, in this sorry, I'm standing here for a second. Anything you see in this BN that doesn't quite make sense, just tell yourself a witch did it, and it'll make 100% sense. 100% all the time. Ah, I'm rubbing my blanket around me. I was right. I forgot to add those X tools in my thing, so I have a little blankie around me. I have the artist was giving away for free, but I forgot their credits because I had to restart the computer and I had to go look it all over again and blah blah blah. I'm babbling, I'm stalling. Let's get to the game. Audio song. Okay. The last time we were here, it was November 9th. Oh my. It's been over a week? Oh my boy, no, how could I do that? How could I do that? Yeah, so Shion finally met Satoshi. We all finally met Satoshi. And we're getting small glimpse of how his life is with Satoko and their aunt and uncle. Which forgot if it is horrible. But Shion is kinda have a thing for Satoshi. She likes how he's just a kind, simple lad who has a weird tendency to pet people's heads. That way to get to a girl's heart? Just to pat their head? I just want to know. It's for research purposes. Yeah, they have a little kind of have a little feelings going on, but he doesn't really know. He doesn't know that she's Shion. He thinks she's Mion because they look the same, and no one really knows about Shion. What is this? Alright, so let's just jump in. Hey there! How are you guys going? How are you guys doing in the heat?
Oh, Mion-san じゃないですか。
Mion-san.
こんにちは。
We're doing good.
あれ？それは差し入れですか？
Is that our refreshment?
ありがたいな。
Thanks a bunch.
さすがは我がチームのマネー
You're
ジャー。
such a great manager.
まあ気が向いたからです。
I just felt like coming here.
別に監督に差し入れたくて買ってきた
I
わけ
didn't
じゃ
bring
ない
this
の
for
で、
you, by the
そこ
way.
そこよろしくお願いします。あと、さりげなく人
And
を
don't
勝手
treat
に
me
マネー
as
ジャ
your
ーに
manager
組み込
without
ま
my
ないで。
permission. Please.
ミオンがマネージャーだったらいろいろ心強いと思うけどね。
Oh, it looks nice in that. I'm not a sports person myself, but it looks good on him. We're a stronger team if you were our manager, Mion.
やってよ。
Why don't you apply
マネージャー。
as manager? I mean, Satoshi-kun smiled at me in a carefree manner. I didn't want to become their manager. It'd be tiresome. I've been coming every week though, so I'm a quasi-manager already.
まあ、本当に気が向いたら、
Well,
その時はやりますんで。
If I feel like it.
で、どうです？
Anyway, how's Satoshi-kun doing, coach?
サトシ君の打率はどんな感じです？
Is his batting average improving?
ええ。
Yes,
頑張ってます
yes.
よ。
He's doing fine.
彼の打率ですか？
His batting average
うん、
is,
そうですね。
well,
セブンスマートで
if you buy 3 packs of rice crackers at 7 marked. Wait, what? That's just the kind of way of saying he's horrible?
つまり3割ってことですか？
Does that mean it's 30%? How did she get that? I didn't get that.
へえ、
Wow.
サトシ君って
You're doing great,
結構な
Satoshi-kun.
高打者じゃないの。
打率は数字じゃないよ
It's
ね。
not just about the number, Mion.
ここ一番で打てなきゃ。
I have to be able to hit the ball when it really counts.
サトシ君は
It's good that
自分の
you're aware of your
よく
weaknesses,
わかっているようです
Satoshi-kun.
ね。そこまでわかってい
You
る
just
なら
continue working on
あとは
them for
練
now.
習あるのみですよ。
Ire singled to the pitcher, who then threw the ball. Satoshi-kun looked calm, following the ball with his eyes. Then he swung. Whack! The ball flew between the first and second bases and landed in the distance.
お
Woohoo!
お、やったー。
That's great!
パチパチパチパチパチ。
Good job, Satoshi-kun! I clapped and Satoshi-kun blushed in response. He repositioned his helmet to hide his face. Well,
フリーバッティングや試合が平坦な
he
時は
is good in
かな
practice,
り落ち着いた
and when the
いい
game
バ
is
ッティングを見せ
slow,
てくれるんですけどね。
Aries smiled compassionately. It seemed that Satoshi-kun really couldn't perform well when it counted. While he was usually good when everybody expected him to perform, he couldn't. Yeah, I get that feeling. You got this kind of secret confidence when you're all by yourself, but when you have a crowd who's really depending on you, the nerves are sweating in, you lose your grip on things. I didn't think it was because of nervousness. He just couldn't do it. I think it's a perfect fit for Satoshi-kun's character. He seems calm at first glance, but he's actually slow.
スコアボードとかそういう数字上ではかなりの高アベレージヒッターなのに、
Numerically speaking, you're a great player.
本番に弱いってのは
But-
致命的かも。
You need to be able to hit the ball when the thing gets serious.
そんなことだからこないだの
That's
ウ
why
タジャガーとの試合でも
you're an easy out in the
大
match.
凡退するんですよ。
When the Yukita Jaguars the other day.
うるさいな。気にしてるんだから黙っててくれよ。
Shut up. I know that.
あそこで打てればかなり美
If
味し
he's
い
been
見せ場
able
だ
to
った
hit
ん
the
ですけど
ball,
ね。
then he would have been a hero.
残念です。
What a shame. A hit could have put the offenses into the lead, or at least given them an extension. That was when Satoshi-kun came up to bat. Ire wanted him to live up to everybody's expectations, but statistically, that wasn't likely to happen. Yet Ire insisted on giving him a chance, in spite of the fact that all the team members had suggested a pinch hitter. A pinch hitter?
ああもうあそこで打て
It
れば
would have
完
been
璧なのにな。
perfect if you could have hit it.
どうしてダメなんですか？
Why didn't you?
どうしてああいう
Why
時
can't you
に打
hit
てない
a
んですか？
ball in a situation when it really matters?
仕方ないよ。
There was nothing I could do.
僕がああいう時弱いの。
I know
本
I'm
当だし
weak in a situation like that.
僕だって代打を出してくれた方が
I thought
試合に
a
勝てるかな。
pinch hitter was a better idea.
試合に勝つかじゃなくて、サトシ君が勝つかどうかが問題
It's
な
not
んです。
about the match. It's about you, Satoshi-kun.
ああもう
Yeah.
なんで当の本人にここ
You
ま
need
で
to
闘
be
争
more
心がないのかな。
aggressive.
普通は逆でしょ？
Shouldn't you have thought the opposite way?
代打に変えられそう
Shouldn't you
な
have
ところを
insisted
ここ
that
は
you
俺に打た
come
せ
up
て
to
くださいっ
bat
て
no
組んでた
matter
とこでしょ？
what everybody else said?
自分から代打を出
I
してほしいなん
can't
て言い出
believe
す
you
なん
want
て。
to give away the chance to
あも
some pinch hitter.
うなんでここまで闘争心がないのかな。
Why are you so weak like that?
それは私も普段から言ってるんですけどね。
Damn, just dogpile on Satoshi Day. That's what I keep telling him.
まあその辺が
I know that's one of his good points too. But
ね。
um,
普段は 紳士でも
You can't be a gentleman at other times, but when playing games, you should be a demon.
男にはそういう二
I
面性
think
があ
all
っ
men
て
should have
私はい
those
いと
two
思いま
sides
す
to them.
とにかくサトシ君には
You
鬼
know
が
what?
な
You're
い
demon out, Satoshi-kun.
仮にもひなみ沢の人間なんだか
You're,
ら
you're a native to
たまにはご先祖
Hinamizawa,
の鬼の
so
血を
never
思い出して
forget
くだ
that
さ
you
い
have
ね
the demon's blood running through your veins.
聞いて
Are
ます
you listening?
サトシ君
Satoshi-kun! うん。Okay, boy?
聞いてるよ。
We being too rough on you? He is a sensitive lad. Maybe you should cool it down a bit.
よくわかんないけど。
I'm not sure, but
わかんないけどって
what are you
サトシ
sure
君の話を
about?
してるんですよ
We're talking about you.
それを
So, what are you doing? Get away! 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 Satoshi Kun suddenly started stroking my head. He looked delighted for some reason. Bro, stop doing that. It's getting weird now. It's getting weird. I barely know you. Yes, you may think I'm my sister, but I'm not. I'm Shion. This is weird. Stop it. A blush immediately spread across my face. I didn't know how to respond.
ミオンは僕のためを思って言ってくれてるんだよね。
Oh, they're playing Dear You? Oh, thanks. Oh, that's right. This is, thanks, the U that version. You're giving me advice, right?
ありがとう。
Thanks.
僕は頑張る。
I'll do my best.
あ
Hey,
の
you
そういうことして
try to
ごまかさないでください
fool me.
ごまかしてなんかないよ。
I'm not.
嬉しいだけだよ。
I'm just happy that you care about me. I couldn't resist his hand. I couldn't help mumbling like he does. Satoshi-kun ran back to the field, leaving me red as a beet.
頭撫でられるの弱いんですか？
Do you feel good when your head stroked? I am going to ignore the double entendre.
撫でる人によります
Depends.
監督が撫でてきたら関節決めますんで
If
覚
it,
悟の方よろしくです
if it were you, I had to teach you a new martial art technique.
も
Aww.
うずるいな。
What a shame.
じゃあ全員集合。
Alright. Everyone, gather around, gather around.
今日は出席もいいことですから人数を分けて紅白戦をやってみましょう。
Why don't we split into groups and have a practice match? The Hinamizawa fighters are sort of a lazy team. The members gather simply to enjoy playing baseball, not to fight for victory. The Okyomiya Titans use this field too, but they practice on a different day of the week. They always train hard, using dumbbells and stuff. Our team split into two groups and started a match, retaining their loose atmosphere.
じゃあ私は記録でもやるかな
I'll keep track of the scores.
監督どっか
Coach,
に鉛筆ないですか
do you have a pencil?
いつもすみませんね。
Thanks for helping out.
はいこれ
Here,
お願いしますね。
I took the pencil and the clipboard. I don't know how to differentiate between recording hits and errors at first, but now I was used to it.
頑張ってサトシくん
Show me what you got, Satoshi-kun.
あんまり応援するとまた打てなくなっちゃいま
Oh,
すね
maybe it'll be too much pressure if I cheer for you excessively.
ほどほどに頑張れ
Just do okay then.
そ
Hmm,
れはそれでひどいな。
doesn't sound very encouraging either. do your best. Time passed. Slowly that Sunday. Huge white clouds approached in the sky. They make me feel healthy. Humans are born to be active under the sun. I disagree. One of the parents was acting as umpire today. So Irie sat on the bench with me. He shouted words of encouragement to the kids while they ran to their positions. Any other baseball coach would constantly berate them, but he was much more generous, like a kindergarten teacher. He let the kids have fun while watching over them. To other baseball players, it might look a little naive.
それでもあの程度の練習量でみんなこれだけの動きができるんだから驚きですよね。
I'm surprised you guys can do well with only a small amount of practice.
ひなみ沢の子はみんな普段から元気に遊び回ってますからね。
Kids in Hinamizawa romp around every day.
運動量は町のことは比べ物にならないんですよ。
So the amount of exercise they get surpasses that of the city kids.
変なフォームで固めてしまう。
Besides,
遊び感覚の方が伸びるんです。
too much training is not always effective.
お、見事に沖宮タイタンズと
Wow.
は正反対の考え方ですね。
You think completely different from the Okiyamiya Titans.
あちらの監督と対立するの。わか
I
る
can
気がし
understand
ます
why their coach hates you.
タイタンズさんの考え
It's
も
not about being
間違ってま
right.
せんよ。試合は勝つため
Matches
にするもの
exist
ですからね
for。some reason, for someone to win, after all.
勝利至上主義は
So
決して間違いじゃないです。
prioritizing victory certainly isn't wrong.
みんなで団結して
I think it's amenable to aim for victory together.
とてもまあうちは
But the goal of our
その
team
目標
doesn't
が
happen to
た
be
またま
victory.
勝利じゃないってだけの
That's
こ
all.
とです。
The Hinamizawa fighters and the Okiyamiya Titans have been rivals for a long time. Both teams share the same baseball field for one thing. And originally, there was only one team. But the people living in Hinamizawa left and made their own. Anyhow, we were rivals. The Okiyamiya Titans were strictly about winning, and the Hinamizawa fighters were just about having fun. Surprisingly, our scores weren't that different. Which meant our team had something they didn't. Even though I couldn't put it into words, I knew what made that happen.
ほら、赤組さんも頑張ってください。
Hey, Team 1, no slacking.
2点差なんかひっくり返せちゃいますよ。
You can make up the 2-point difference pretty easily.
白組も
Team 2,
油断なくしっかり。
no slacking either. Still, some parents would criticize our coach for being too lenient. But still others would strongly agree with him. Which side would I take? The latter. I couldn't easily say for sure. The reason for this was that Irie had an unorthodox habit of sexual harassment. Yeah. In particular, he had a fascination with maids. But I should talk about that some other time. He's just a goof. I hope. Satoshi-kun let the ball pass twice to see its trajectory, then hit it on the third pitch and ran to first base.
サトシ君打った打った。
Oh, he did it!
落ち着いてればさすがで
He's
すよ
so
ね。
good when he's relaxed.
最初はちょっと
In
素
the
振り
beginning,
しただけで
he used to get
すぐ
tired
バテ
very
てたんですけ
easily.
どね。
He's
それを思え
improved
ば
quite a lot since
本当
then.
に上達したものです。
サトシ君って文系
He
って感じの人ですよ
really
ね。
does look like kind of a bookworm.
よくその彼が
I
野
wonder
球
why
を
he
やろ
started
うなんて
playing
思った
baseball
も
in
の
the
です
first
ね。
place. All the other kids who joined the baseball team love baseball. They go out to play in the fields outside of practice. That's why they all had an aptitude for it. But Sis never said that Satoshi couldn't exercise excessively in school or anywhere else. He only likes to read. That's why I didn't understand why he started playing for this team to begin with.
それはですね
That's because I invited
私
him.
がサトシ君をこのチームに誘ったからなんです
へえ
Is that so?
監督が自らスカウトしたんですか？
Huh. Speaking of invitations, I need to invite myself to leave for a moment. I'm sorry I had to pause so soon into the gameplay, but I had to step away for a quick moment. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the else in the break. I had to go check on something and maybe something in the bathroom. Not exactly sure. It was like this big silverfish or something weird. I don't know. Had to go to the bathroom for a second. all right. Oh, where were we? Okay, so Xion, who is acting as Neon, is asking Coach about why he allows Satoshi-kun to play. You know, the boy kinda sucks at it. So gonna get the thing back up. That's because that's because I invited him. Is that so? So you recruited him?
サトシ君に何かすごい素質があるのを見抜いて。
Did you know some sort of hidden talent?
あ、すみません。 麦茶を
excuse
一杯も
me.
らってもいいですか？
Can I have a cup of barley tea?
あ、どうも。
Ah, thank you. Erie asked for tea in a suspicious manner. Well, he constantly joked around. I knew he was actually a very mature person. I assumed he was trying to evade my question.
何か訳ありなんですか？
Is there a particular reason? Erie pretended he didn't hear me, but I pressed him on it. In response, he shrugged and began answering the question.
園崎さんなら、あるいは想像がつくんじゃないかと。
I think you might be able to guess. What would be Neon Sonosaki's guess? I quickly searched through the data I had on Satoshi-kun. I came up with Satoshi-kun's family circumstances. He lost his parents in an accident a year ago. Since then, he's been living a tough time at his uncle's home.
じゃあ監督はサトシ君の鬱憤とかそう
You,
いうのを解消させてあげようと思ってこ
so
のチームに。
you invited him so that he could vent.
スポーツはいいですよ。
Sports are great.
程よく体を動かして汗をかくことは
You can free
ス
yourself
トレス
through
の発散になりま
exercise.
す。また熱中することによって
I thought
わずかな間
that
でも
as long as he concentrated on something else,
それは十分な気分転換になりますしね。
he could forget about his troubles at home.
ほらサトシ君ってぼんやりしてるというかのほほんとしてるというか
You
そういう
know,
ところあるじゃないですか。
he's usually a daydreamer, zoning out all the time.
やっぱり相当ストレス
Is he
あるんですか？
still stressed? I knew Satoshi-kun must be suffering, even though he didn't look like it. But Mion Sanzaki never pays attention to things like that, and I had to act like she does.
おじさんに引き取られて少ししてからサトシ君がだいぶ体調を崩しましてね。
Satoshi-kun got really sick after his uncle took him into his custody.
いろんな症状を訴えるんですが、いくら調べても
He
原
had
因がはっきりしないんですよ。
clinical symptoms, but the causes were unknown. Satoshi-kun often got sick. And Satoshi-kun often got sick after he was taken into his uncle's custody. He suffered from fatigue and migraines. He suffered from a lack of energy and sleepiness. The coach, Dr. Ire, soon realized Satoshi-kun was suffering from a psychological disorder. Most of the people in Hinamizawa knew how bad Satoshi-kun's environment was. It was natural for him to become sick because he entered that bad environment right after his parents' death.
サトシ君は感情の爆発ができないタイプなんですよ。
Satoshi-kun cannot express himself freely,
泣いたりとか怒ったりとか、
whether it's
そうい
crying
う感情が
or simply
人
being
一倍苦手なんです
agitated. He's not good at handling those emotions. Oh. Fuck. Sorry. I just feel bad about Satoshi-kun all of a sudden. I know I like the joke. He's a limp boy, doesn't really do a lot, but I really relate to that statement right there. Can't really handle those negative emotions. You don't feel good.
確かにサトシ君が泣いたりとか怒ったりってのはあまり想像つかないですね。
That's true. I can't imagine him being angry or crying.
サトシ君のお母さんが再婚を重ねてるのはご存知で？
Did you know Satoshi-kun's mother had been married a few times already?
まあ
Yeah,
少しは
I know a little bit about that. Satoshi-kun's mother had married a number of men over the years. That meant Satoshi-kun had several stepfathers. He had to deal with strangers coming into his home multiple times, so he was forced to be mature.
サトシ君は精神的に早熟なんです。
Satoshi-kun is mentally underdeveloped.
本人は自覚していないでしょうがね。泣いたり笑ったり、ダダをこねたり。
He isn't aware of it himself, though. He didn't have a good enough time. He didn't have enough time to cry, laugh, and throw tantrums in his childhood.
そういう時代をあっという間に卒業させられて大人になっちゃったんです。
He was forced to become a grown-up in a short time.
監督の言い方だと大人ってのが
That
必ずしもいいようには聞こえないですね。
doesn't sound right.
子供は子供らしく過ごすことで成長していくようにできてい
Children
るんで
have
す。
to behave like children in order to grow.
それを無理に大人にしたらやっぱりいいことはないです
There's
よ。
nothing positive about being forced to become an adult. Now, not only was Satoko's current relationship with her aunt conspicuously terrible, I heard that her relationship with her previous stepfathers weren't good either. Satoko always caused problems, and Satoshi-kun would always step in to protect her.
だからサトシ君の体に変調が出たのはそういうことに体が耐えかねた SOS じゃないかって
I thought his
思ったんで
physical
す。
symptoms came from the stress. His body was trying to warn him. That's why Ire invited Satoshi-kun onto the baseball team. He told Satoshi that he needed a new member, or something like that.
初めは渋ってましたけどね。
He hesitated at first,
彼と診療の際にいろいろとお話しするうちに少しずつ
But
打ち解けていきましたね。
after I talked him to the clinic a few times. He began to open up to me.
ちょっと見学だけにでも
First,
来てみると
I invited him to come see the practice.
ちょっとバットを持ってみる
Then
と
I suggested he try batting.
なんて感じで
I
少しずつ誘っていったん
I
ですよ。
eased him into it. Sports work, especially work assess. Sports worked exceedingly well for Satoshi-kun. His health quickly improved, and he started to become interested in baseball. He practiced batting. He was soon able to swing beautifully, and he learned how to see the trajectory of the ball.
あーなんかわかるな。
I can imagine that.
サトシ君ってコツコツタイプですからね。
He likes to read,
How to Baseball なんて本を
so
後
he
ろに
must
挟
have
みながら
read a
読んでい
book
る風景が想像で
titled
きます。
How to Play Baseball or something like that.
それであれよあれよとい
He
う間に
become a good
3割
batter
打者
very
なんです。
quickly.
本当によく頑張りました。
He's put forth a lot of effort.
これでピンチの時にも打てる
Though
な
I wish he would actually hit when it comes down to the wire too.
サトシ君と監督って
Are you guys
仲
close?
いいんですか？
悪くはないと思ってますよ。
I think so.
悩みとか
He
そう
talks
い
to
うの
me
を
about
打
his
ち明けてくれたという
problems,
ことは
so I guess that's a sign of
私を
trust.
信頼してくれたからだと思ってます。
I feel a bit jealous of how confidently Irie said that. Well, Satoshi-kun and I were friends. We were so close that we opened up to each other like that.
あれ 嫉妬してます
Are you jealous?
何に
About what? Taken aback, I blushed. Erie started laughing at me.
園崎さんもサトシ君の相談相手になってあげてください
Please stay his good friend.
まあ
Yeah.
慣れるなら慣れたらいいかな
I'm trying. I didn't know what I was saying.
サトシ君ですね
You know, regarding Satoshi-kun,
最近また少し
he
体調
seems a
を
little
崩して
sick
るみたい
again
なんです
lately.
え
Oh no. Oh no, what? Thwack. The ball flew to the left, but the left fielder managed to catch it. It seems that the relationship between Sadako and her aunt has gotten worse lately. It was obvious his sickness had something to do with that.
おばさんがかなり大人げないいじめ方をしているらしいんです
Their aunt is bullying Sadako again in a terrible way.
サトコちゃん本当に
She's
かわいそ
become
うな
worn
くら
out
い
after all
ボロ
that.
ボロになって何しろ
And-
聞いた話では
で
So,
それをかばうサトシ君もボロボロになってい
Satoshi-kun
る
is also worn
と
out
いうことですね
from covering for Sadako, isn't he? I wasn't interested in Sadako, so I switched the subject back to Satoshi-kun. I didn't know much about Sadako. I knew she was a big part of Satoshi-kun's life, but I never been interested in her until today. She must have been building up self-esteem and taking care of her unreliable brother. That was all I knew about her. But considering Satoshi-kun's personality, even that goofiness of his might have been an act. Maybe he was trying to make her feel good about herself by letting her take care of him. If only unconsciously. When he was alone, he was surprisingly strong. I realized that only recently. So I couldn't help but think that his whole life is constantly affected by Satoko. Satoshi managed to get along with his stepfathers, even though he experienced some stress. He was even getting along with his aunt. But in order to protect Satoko, he always had to step in and suffer. I didn't really know anything about Satoko, but I had to admit, I felt hostile towards her. I felt jealous because she was monopolizing him.
最近サトコちゃんへのおばさんのいじめがだいぶエスカレートしてるみたい
It
です
seems that their aunt has been traumatizing Satoko-chan even more lately.
サトシ君の体調不良もそれに比例しているんでしょうね
That must be what's causing Satoshi-kun's sickness. Eri heaved a sigh. As he said, Satoshi-kun had been absent a few times lately. He seemed a bit tired too. He looked normal when around everybody else, but he looked a bit depressed when he was alone.
監督はストレスに押しつぶされそうなサトシ君を救うため野球に誘ったんですよね
You invited him to join the team to relieve his stress, didn't you?
ええ
Yes,
そのつもりでした
that's right.
こうして野球をやっている今
But he looks stressed again now.
またストレスに押しつぶされそうにな
How
ってい
can
る
we
サトシ
save
君
him
に
this time?
今度は何を誘えばいいんですか
どうすればいいんでしょうね
Eri smiled powerfully. I couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed about that, because Satoshi-kun put his trust in him.
内緒にしてくださいよ
Just between you and me.
実はですね サトシ君、
Satoshi-kun recently told me
チームを抜けたいってそう漏らすんですよ。
that he wanted to leave the team. Eh?
どうして？
How come?
疲れるからだそうです。
He claimed he was tired of it.
というのは表向き。
And that's what he said.
サトコちゃんと一緒に
But
い
I
る
believe
時
he
間を
actually wants to spend more
増やしてあ
time
げる
with
ためじゃないか
Satoko-chan.
と思ってます。サトシ君は野球をしている間、
He thinks that Satoko-chan might end up being tortured while he's at practice.
その時、サトコちゃんのそばにいられないことが兄として辛いと、
I think he's
そう
concerned about that.
思っているのかもしれません。
I was left speechless for a while. Satoko again. Satoko. Why did Satoshi-kun have to sacrifice so much for her? Just by ignoring her, his stress would melt away. Of course, I knew he couldn't do that. If that were the case, then the blame lay with his little sister. I knew how badly she'd been treated. But that only happened because she made things worse for herself. You bitch. It was her fault she couldn't establish a decent relationship with her aunt. If Sadako were more mature like Satoshi-kun, her home life wouldn't have gotten so bad. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have to suffer those indirect blows. In the meantime, the baseball team's practice match had become one-sided, and it wasn't even worth watching anymore. The members of the losing team were just goofing off. The sky had turned cloudy too. It was depressing. It didn't look like it rained soon, though. The gray sky hadn't brought along any cool air. It just felt disgusting. Eerie became quiet. He was looking down around his feet. I, meanwhile, just stared at Satoshi-kun. To me, he didn't look active anymore. He was once able to enjoy playing baseball and felt fine. But he got sick again, just because the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had deteriorated. I couldn't help but say it.
サトシ君をどうこうするってより、サトコをどうこうする方が先決では。
No. No, 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 no. Oh, fuck, it begins. Shouldn't we do something about Satoko instead? It was just a murmur, but Irie had definitely caught it.
それは
What?
どういう意味ですか？
What do you mean, Sansaki-san?
別に難しい話じゃない。
Not that complicated.
サトコがしっかりしてくれれば、
Satoko were
サトシ
stronger.
君に迷惑をかけることも
Satoshi-kun
ない。
wouldn't have to deal with stress.
サトコがそもそもの原因である
I
って
think
ことで言い
Satoko
たいだ
is the
けです。
cause of everything.
うん、そんなことは。
I don't know about that.
でしょ？
Yes, you do.
だってサトコが
If she
トラブ
didn't
ルから
cause any
サトシ君
trouble,
はそのトラブル
he
に
wouldn't
介
have
入
to
して矢
step
面に
in.
立たなければなら
Would
ないんで
he?
しょ？で、その結
He
果、
wouldn't have to take
本当
over
は
in the
買わなく
fight
て済ん
between
だおばの
Satoko
喧
and
嘩
her
まで買
aunt,
ってるわけでしょ？
right? Satoshi-kun never got scared of any trouble. No matter how formidable the enemy, he bravely stand up to protect the weak. I knew that because I could vividly imagine it. Wherever their aunt chides Satoko, Satoshi-kun steps in to protect her. The aunt probably didn't like it. Though Satoshi-kun didn't have to fight, the aunt would attack him anyway. The fight would then be between the aunt and him. Sadako might then tease the aunt by sticking out her tongue, hiding behind his back and pretending to be scared. She'd never think about how deeply he was being hurt. Because of Sadako, Satoshi-kun had become concerned, was stressed.
園崎さん、 あなたがそんな言い方をする人
I'm
だったとは
surprised to hear this from you,
驚きです
Sansaki-san.
あなたはさとこちゃんのお友
I
達
thought
でし
you
ょ
were Satoko-chan's friend, her classmate,
お姉さん的な立場でしょ
a big sister kind of figure.
普段も学校でさとこちゃんを慰めたり励ましたりしてるものだと思
But
ってました
you always be on her side.
なのに
But
そん
what
な
you
言い方
said
をするなんて
is
正直
surprising
驚いて
to
い
me.
ます
Irie looked at me suspiciously. I could tell what he was thinking about me. I said too much. Mion Sanzaki and Satoko Hojo are friends. They're close, so Mion should have been encouraging her after the situation at home got tougher. That's what Mion was supposed to do. I'd totally forgotten about that and spoken as myself. It's only natural that Irie would give me a suspicious look. He might end up changing his impressions of Mion Sansaki entirely. I have to apologize to her about this and ask her to put things right. I've totally messed up. Even so, I didn't think I said anything wrong. I objectively looked at the situation and made a modest proposal. To be honest, I was simply afraid that he might leave the team. I couldn't go to school in Hinamizawa. So the baseball field was the only place where I could see him. I could even say that he was my reason for living. Aww. That's right. I was in love with him. But I wasn't going to tell him how I felt. For I was satisfied just being by his side. I certainly couldn't ask for anything more. After all, I couldn't reveal my true identity. I had to pretend to be Mion in order to live in Okiyamiya. I thought that maybe I should leave Okiyamiya in order to be free. But that was stupid. No matter how tough my life might be, I prefer to stay here. With Satoshi-kun stroking my head every now and then. Why did I love him so much? I read about it in some manga once. You don't need a reason to be in love. I was surprised at myself for being like this.
落ち着け
Calm down,
私
Shion. Oh, did I skip a log? Okay, no, I did. I breathed out slowly, then held my breath, trying to slow my throbbing heart. I felt a bit calmer. At that point, a clear thought came to my head. I want to be with Satoshi-kun. So, I want him to stay on the team. So, I want to get rid of his concerns and his stress. So what? So, what can I do to achieve all this? My head started to cool down as I heard the umpire shout. Game set! And match! Higurashi, when they cry. Any tips? Oh, some days I see him, some days I don't. A clear sky gets cloudy and rain will always stop eventually. I thought his absence was like that, but he was actually on the verge of a breakdown. The rainy season was just around the corner, and the air had become so humid that my shirt stuck to my skin. It's been a few weeks since Satoshi-kun stopped showing up for baseball practice. I looked for him as soon as I arrived at the field. He's not here yet. Did I get here too early? I want to see him playing in the field right when I got here. I started arriving late because of those feelings. However, he wasn't here today either. I didn't even bother hiding my disappointment anymore. Everybody knew by now how I felt. The team member from Mion's class came over to try and console me. But I shooed them away.
園崎さん、
What's wrong? What's going on, Sansaki-san?
気分が優れませんか？
Are you feeling sick? Even Irie couldn't comfort me. I was aware that he too knew why I was like this.
今日帰りますね。
I'm going home.
気分じゃないです。
I don't feel like watching the practice today.
ほら、今日は沖宮タイタンズさんと
Look,
打ち合わせをする日じゃないですか。
we're having a meeting with the Okimiya Titans later.
マネージャーの園崎さんにも
I want you
同
to be
席
there
してほ
because
しか
you're
っ
our
たんですよ
manager.
ね。
私を勝手にマネージャーにし
Don't
ないでくださ
treat me
い。
like a manager.
私、マネージャーだった
I
つもり
never
は
agreed to become one.
ないんですから。
Irie looked down, not knowing what to say.
わかりました。
Alright,
元気が回復したら
please help us again
ま
when
た
you
手
feel
伝っ
like
て
it.
くださいね。
もう来ないかもです。
Maybe I won't be coming back.
マネージャーが必要なら、
If you really need a manager,
私以外を募集してくだ
look
さい。
for somebody else.
気が向いた時でいいです。
Please do come back
また
wherever you feel
遊
like
び
it.
に来てくださいね。それにほら、
Soji-kun will be
あなたがいない
sad
と
if you're not here when
サ
he
ト
comes
シ君
back.
が戻ってきた時、寂しがりますよ。
I ignored him and turned around. I had already set up my schedule with Mion, so I didn't have to ask her every time anymore. I tried to contact her a couple of times to ask how Satoshi-kun was doing in school, but I hadn't been able to get through to her. Apparently, the hag had sensed that I might be in contact with Sis. In other words, Sis was being watched. As a result, it has been easy to contact her. Kasai, who had been helping me contact her, seemed to also have been marked. People knew he was loyal to me. I hadn't seen him for a while either. All I could do was wonder how Satoshi-kun was doing. I was frustrated because there was no way for me to know. My head was filled with worries, but something surprised me out of the blue. Somebody called out to me when I was about to leave the field on my bike.
みーちゃん、こんにちは。
Rina! It's Rina, guys! It's Rina! We haven't seen her in a minute. Last time we see her was in Higurashi. Oh god, I don't want to think about Higurashi right now. Yeah, it's been minutes since we've seen our good little kleptomaniac. Mi-chan? Hello? I've never seen this girl before. Luckily, she called me Mi-chan. There's only one person who refers to Mion that way, as far as I know.
レナか。
Rina,
珍しいね。
I'm
レ
surprised to
ナ
see
が
you
ここに
here.
来るなんて。
Her name is Rina Ryugu. Her real name is Rina, but she wants to be called Rina. So that's what we call her. She moved here in April. I had some information on her, but it was all ambiguous. Sis was still a bit uncertain about her since she's new. It was hard for me to handle someone like that. I didn't know how to act around her as Mion. So I decided to pretend to be an obvious sulky mood. That's why she wouldn't talk to me as much, assuming that Mion was simply feeling bad. Well, that's how I really am anyway.
みーちゃんは帰り？
Are you going home, Mi-chan?
うん。
Yeah.
気分が優れないの。
Are you not feeling well?
悪いね。
Sorry.
じゃあ一緒に帰ろう。
Let's go together then. I want to say I'd rather be alone, but there was only one road to Hinamizawa. So asking to be alone would look odd. The only way to not seem suspicious would be to walk home with her.
そうだね。
Yeah,
帰ろうか。
let's go home. Rena quietly nodded. Rena quietly nodded. I unlocked my bike.
みーちゃん、傘は？
Mi-chan, you have an umbrella?
持ってないけど。
Nope.
今日はこの後
It might
天
rain
気崩れる
soon.
かもしれないんだ。傘ないなら
So let's hurry a
遊ぼう
bit, since you don't have one. As she predicted, we were attacked by pouring rain on our way. We ended up taking shelter in a small shack in front of the bus stop.
すごい降りだけど、
It's
これは
pouring,
そんなに長引きそうじゃ
but
ないね。
it doesn't look like it's going
向
to
こうの
last
空は
long,
明るいもの。
since the skies over here is clear.
そうだね。
Yeah. I heard the sound of rain pattering on the rooftop, and the raindrops jumping into puddles. It sounded loud, but it made me feel strangely calm. I zoned out for a moment. Then Rena talked to me while looking up at the rainy sky.
最近元気ないって聞いたから
I was worried about you,
心配してたんだよ。
because you look so down. All the baseball team members knew I was depressed, because I hadn't seen Satoshi-kun recently. Most of them attended the school in Hinamizawa, so it wasn't surprising that she knew as well. I hadn't been able to contact Sis these past few weeks, but I was sure she had an idea how I feel about Satoshi-kun, and how I would feel if he didn't come to the baseball practice. Sis was probably pretending to act a little depressed during her day-to-day in Hinamizawa to avoid creating a big gap between our moods. But neither of us knew the details about the other now. So she wouldn't be able to answer if others ask what was wrong. She'd only be able to say, "Leave me alone." That might lead to more people to become worried. Rena must have thought Mion was depressed. That must be why she came all the way to see me. She must have known what was going on, because she knew that I was at the baseball field.
サトシ君、構ってくれないから
Do you feel
寂し
lonely
い？
because Satoshi-kun is avoiding us? Having deducted what's been going on with Satoshi-kun from what she just said, he's been distancing himself from the others lately because exhaustion. That's what it seemed like, at least.
サトコちゃんの件でだいぶ
It
悩
looked
んでる
like
みたいだった。
he was worried about Satoko-chan.
サトシ君はす
I
ごく追い詰め
think
られてる
he's
と
really
思う。
on edge.
かわいそうだよね。
I feel bad for him.
サトシ君は本当に妹思いだからね。
He really cares about his sister.
偉いよ、本当に。
He has a lot of courage. What I said sounded hollow, as I knew too well how much of a burden Satoko had become.
でもだからってみーちゃんまで落ち込んじゃったら
But I think he'd feel even worse if you also look depressed,
かな。
I think.
私に追い詰めるつもりなんて。
I don't know. I don't want that.
それはもちろん知ってるよ。
I know.
でも
But
だからこそ
if you really don't,
学校にいる時のサトシ
you
君を
need to smile for
笑
him.
顔で迎えてあげられなかったら
He might
本
might
当にサトシ君
really
は
feel
追い詰められちゃうよ。
concerned. Cornered.
みーちゃんはたとえ嘘でも笑顔が作れ
I
る
know you're
強い
strong.
人間だって知ってる。だから
You can smile,
嘘でも笑ってほしいの。
even just for pretend.
最初はたとえ嘘でもね、
So, I want you to smile no matter what.
笑顔って
You know that lies can become true sometimes. What she was saying, in a nutshell, was this. Both Satoshi-kun and Sadako were totally wiped out. It was Mion who was also depressed, even though she's the sort of person who usually lightens the mood. Their situation would be stuck in a vicious cycle. Renna sounded more like she was trying to give me advice than trying to console me. She must be more mature than she looks. Sis told me that she was a funny girl with a few bad habits. But she seemed to have another very mature side to her.
みーちゃんはサトシ
Do
君
you
のこと
love
好
Satoshi-kun?
き？
好き。
Yeah. Though I shouldn't have told her that. I immediately responded.
なら笑おう。
In that case, why don't you smile? Rena smiled herself.
みーちゃんの笑顔で
I
きっと
believe
サトシ君
Satoshi-kun
に元気を
will
分
feel
けてあ
better
げられると思う。
if he sees your smile.
みーちゃんはそれしか
I
できな
know
い
you
こ
feel
とに
powerless
落
now,
胆しかけているかもしれないけれど、
but
それでもね、
your smile will give him strength.
それが一番サトシ君の力になる。
理屈ではわかるけどね。
I know what you're saying, but
腹減ったって
it's not that easy.
そう簡単にはできないよ。
Rena giggled and nodded.
野球の練習にもさ、
He'll come
バ
back
イトが
after
終
he's
わ
done
った
with
ら
his
き
part-time
っと帰
job.
ってくるから。
His part-time job? I almost asked that question, but I managed to stop myself. From the tone of Rena's voice, it sounded like it was something everyone knew.
バイトか。
His part-time job,
い
huh?
つ終わるんだろうね。
I wonder when it'll end.
お金が貯まるまでだろうけど、
Until he has enough money, I guess.
どんなに遅くても
But he'll
さとこちゃんの誕
but
生日
he'll
までには
finish
終わ
by
るよ。
Satoko-chan's birthday, at the least. The latest. I tried to figure out what was going on from what she said. I had to listen very carefully to uncover the whole picture. Satoshi-kun seemed to be working in order to make some money. I don't think it's easy to find a job when you're still in school. So this might have had something to do with it. His job only seemed temporary, and it seemed to have something to do with Satoko's birthday. It wasn't that difficult to figure out. Satoshi-kun was working and saving up to buy his little sister something expensive for her birthday. He was trying to comfort her, even though he was torn up himself. Satoko, again. Satoshi-kun was already worn out because of her, and he was now working for her sake, even though he was exhausted. How stupid. It would be easy for him to just forget about Satoko. Oh god! Rena! Rena girl, you had these talks. Can you please stop jumping in front of the camera? I was startled when I realized Rena was looking straight into my eyes. She was smiling, but her eyes looked creepy. I never voiced what I was thinking, but she was looking at me as though she figured out that I was blaming Satoko. She beamed when she noticed my fear. She smiled as though she understood that I thought that way because of love. She was giving me the creeps. I could hear thunder roar in the distance. The rain began to pick up.
さとこちゃんがサトシ君を独占してることに嫉妬を感じてる？
Do you feel jealous of Satoko-chan because she monopolizes Satoshi-kun? I avoided answering immediately this time, but Rena seemed to know what I was thinking already.
別にみーちゃんがそう思っても
I wouldn't be
私は
upset
軽蔑しないよ。
if you did.
人を一途に好きになるときって
That's just how
そういうも
it
のなの。
is when you're in love.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
でもみーちゃんは今までずっとさとこちゃんを励ましてくれ
You've
てた
been
よね。
encouraging Satoko-chan despite that.
それって私
That's
すごく立派なことだと思う。
Admirable.
サトコは仲間だもの。
Of course I have.
当然でしょ。
She's my friend. I sounded so fake. I felt like spitting on the floor.
私たちにはさと
All
こ
we
ちゃ
can
んも
do is encourage
サトシ君も
Satoko-chan and
励ますこと
Satoshi-kun.
しかできない。どうやったらこの苦境
I
か
don't
ら救ってあげられるのか。
How to save them from their situation.
サトコがサトシ君にべったりしすぎなんだよ。
Satoko is relying on Satoshi-kun way too much.
サトコがもっとしっかりすれば
If she were
サトシ君
stronger,
がここまで追い詰められること
he
は
wouldn't
ない
have to suffer in her place.
はっきり言うね。
You sound really straightforward, Neon-san. Rena nodded with an unflinching smile, even though my remarks could be taken as harsh. What was this mysterious girl thinking? It was difficult to get a read on her.
サトシ君もさ、ほんの少しはそう思ってい
Maybe
るとこ
Satoshi-kun
あ
feels
るかもしれない
that
ね。
way a little too.
Eh?
Eh? Rena kept smiling, but her smile looked strangely cold.
サトシ君も多分
I
心
think
のどこかで
he's tired of
サトコ
protecting
ちゃんをかばい
Satoko-chan,
続けること
and
に
he's
疲
aware
れ
of
を
that.
感じてると思う。
Given the type of person Rena is, I don't think she'd say something if she wasn't certain of it. Because of that, she must have been confident in what she. Because of that, she must have been confident in what she just told me.
どうしてそう思う？
I don't know. I need to stop. I need to take a quick break. Sorry. Be right back. Be right back. Be right back. 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 「」 "」 「」 "」 "」 "」 "」 "」 Okay, back in. Sorry. Sorry for another break. Alright, let's get back to this. Okay, probably stop in 30 minutes. We'll see that. We'll see. Why do you think that?
私サトシ君に打ち明けられたから。
I was like, what was that again? Renee kept smiling, but her smile looked strangely cold. I think he's trying to protect Satoko-chan, and he's aware of that. Given the type of person Rena is, I don't think she said something as if she wasn't certain of it. Why do you think that? He said so. He's tired of protecting Satoko-chan. He said so. What? Satoshi-kun recently secretly confessed to Rena. Secretly confessed to her. Rena asked me to keep it that way.
サトシ君がね、
Satoshi-kun told me
兄として頼られることに苦痛を感じる。
that he felt tired of protecting Satoko-chan.
それはとても罪深いことだと知っているけど。
He was feeling guilty about it though. I don't think he would say something like that. But, however, it wasn't likely that Rena was lying. It's just, I just met her. So I didn't know what made me feel that way. But my hunch told me that she was telling the truth. I heaved a huge sigh. Satoshi-kun must have gotten so tired that he couldn't help telling someone. Even if he thought that way, he wouldn't tell somebody so easily. Maybe Rena led him to do so? She might be capable of something like that. I don't understand. This girl. It's only been a little while since we met, but I already started talking about something I was keeping deep inside of me. Does she have some kind of supernatural power to reach into people's minds and drag out what they're thinking? It suddenly hit me that I was sitting with this creepy girl in a tiny shack. I've been dragged into her strange world. I don't think Sis had realized Rena's real personality. I think Rena is just a funny girl with some strange habits. She would have told me if she knew.
レナはサトシ君に打ち明けられるくらいに
Okay.
信頼されてるんだね。
This CG is pretty cool. I like it. You see how depressed Neon Shion looks. And you got Rena, and her everything is a bit off. I mean, it's kind of like a Dutch angle, so it already kind of feels odd. But Rena's face, like, you can't. It's kind of hard what she's thinking. Like, is it like she look interested? Does she look puzzled, scared? I don't get it. I guess Satoshi-kun must have trusted you a lot if he confessed that to you. Ah! I click it off for a second.
羨ましい。
I'm a little jealous.
別に信頼されてるわけじゃない。
It's not because he trusts me.
私が
I think it's because
経
I
験者だからだと思う。
experienced the same thing. Get back up. Not Simon. Just need to do something real quick. I'm steady out. Actually, probably need to walk away for a second. Be right back. Be right back. Back. Okay, back. Alright. Scan it. Am I like no, no, not all over the place. I guess Satoshi-kun must trust you a lot if he confessed that to you. I'm a little jealous. It's not because he trusts me. I think it's because I experienced the same thing. I had to say it wrong. I think he could get the screen off.
経験
You what?
レナにも兄弟をかばったりした経験が
Did you also have to cover for your siblings once?
ひたひたと
Those. Oh god! Oh god, here it comes, here it comes.
ずっと足音がついてきて
Those footsteps. They always follow me.
夜は枕元にまで立たれて
They
見
came
下
to
ろさ
my
れ
bed.
る経験
Came to my bedside and looked down on me. Were... Huh? Sorry, Rena. What are you talking about? I turned around to face her and got the chills. Oh no! We got the demon eyes! We got the demon eyes! Though she was smiling, her eyes looked ice cold. I think they looked pretty blue. I trembled and froze with my eyes open.
みーちゃんにはない
Have you experienced anything like that?
ないと思う
I guess not.
多分
Probably. Rena kept laughing self-dispersely. I tried to figure out what she was saying.
みーちゃんはひなみ沢から逃げ出そうと
Have you
か
ever thought of leaving Hinamizawa
もっと都会に行きたいなと
and moving to a
か
big city?
そういうことを考えたこと
Have you
は
ever thought of doing something like that? I didn't know how to respond. Rena waited for my answer, urging me to speak with her, speak with silence.
私
No.
は地元好きだし
I love it here.
だよね
That's right.
だよね
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
みーちゃんはそうだと
I
思う
knew that. It didn't seem like a good idea to lie to her. Rena has some kind of power I can't grasp. She can read people's minds just by seeing the slightest change in their expression. So, I had to tell her the truth.
そうならば
It'll
みーちゃん
be
は大
okay
丈夫
if that's true.
お社様には怒られない
Oyashiro-sama won't get mad at you.
お社様
Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama. That's Hinamizawa's guardian deity. I can understand why she mentioned that name. My mind stopped for a moment.
うん
That's right.
お社様
Oyashiro-sama. She calmly repeated the name as if trying to teach me something. Yeah, I remember. Oyashiro-sama never allows heathens to desecrate Hinamizawa. Oyashiro-sama never allows the villagers to leave either. Those are the rules. Slowly, I recall the fear of the curse which suddenly caused the dismemberment murder and the death of the Hojo couple. When I was sent to the institution, I had this fear that I was scared that if I went to the faraway boarding school, I'd fall under the curse. But I should be okay. I escaped from the school and returned to my hometown, to Okiyamiya to be precise. But it should be okay according to the kid's rule, because I love Hinamizawa. The hag forces me to live this suffocating life, but I still choose to stay in this place. I don't believe I'm breaking Oyashiro-sama's rules. Even though the Sansaki family has selfishly banished me to a remote place, I came back here anyway. Oyashiro-sama should even bless me for that. Sorry, water. I guess I'm trying to convince myself that the curse doesn't apply to me. But I think I'm still afraid of it.
私は地元好きだから
I love this place.
その意味では親
So
代
I
様
don't
の
think
語
I
りがあると
qualify
思
for
っちゃいないね
Oshishio-sama's curse.
模範的だとすら思ってるけど
You could even call me a model villager.
うん
Yes,
それは私も認める
I think so too.
だからこそサトシ君のことはわかんない
I'm not sure about Satoshi-kun.
どうして
Why?
サトシ君は心のどこかで
Satoshi-kun wants to leave the Hinamizawa. Satoshi-kun wants to leave Hinamizawa and run far away.
ひなみ沢を捨ててどこかへ逃げ出したいと思ってるから
Even if it's only unconsciously. I gave an audible cry. While I was feeling sad that Satoshi-kun hadn't shown up for our practice, he still lived in Hinamizawa. So I never considered the thought of him going away.
サトシ君が家出したがってる
Are you saying that
こと
he wants to skip town?
うん
Yes.
無意識のうちに
He's not aware of it himself, though.
お社様が枕元に立つまでは多分意識
He
すら
probably
してなかった
didn't
と思う
notice it until Oyashiro-sama stood by his bed. I still had no idea what she was talking about. I continued to try to figure out what she was saying.
サトシ君が体験していることはすべて
Everything he's going through
前触れなの
It's a sign of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
誰かが遠くからじっと伺っている
Ugh.
誰かがずっとつけてくる
Rena,
誰かがいつも自分のすぐ後ろから見ている
Rena ASMR, right? That was weird. You feel like someone is watching you from a distance, and it follows you. Then it watches from right behind you.
やがて足
After
音が
that,
常に
you
自
start
分とずれて
hearing
一つ余計に聞こえるようになるの
an extra footstep.
それらは初めのうちはお外でだけだけど
It only happens outside at first,
やがて後ろのそれは
but you
自
start
分の家の
hearing it
中にまでついてくるように
even
なる
inside your house. After a while,
そして
then
お布団に入って明かりを消しても
Oyashiro-sama keeps
ずっと
watching
枕
you,
元から見下ろしている
even when you're sleeping in the dark,
ただただ黙って
right by your
じ
side,
っと
waiting silently
自らの罪を認めるま
for
で
you to admit your sin.
サトシ君は夢見が悪いって
Satoshi-kun told
最
me
初言い
he
出
was
した
having nightmares at first,
それで
so I
私がどんな夢
asked him what kind of dreams he was having.
と聞いたら
And those dreams he was having,
私の時をなぞるようだった
as it turns out,
だから私
were just
彼に予
like
告したの
mine.
その気配が
I warned him that the presence
足
would
音を聞か
become
せるよう
bigger.
になり
He'd
常に
hear
サ
an
トシ
extra
君を見下ろ
footstep
しているようになったな
and
ら
feel the presence watching him in his sleep.
それはきっと私の時と同じだか
I
ら
told him to come to me
相談してっ
if
て
that ever happened.
サトシ君ははじめ私の
He
こ
must
とを
have
危
been
険に思った
suspicious
と
at
思う
first,
でも
but
私が予告した
just
通
as I
りに
predicted,
お社様の気配が近づくお社様が
he started to feel Oyashiro-sama's presence more strongly.
やっと自分の身に起こっていることを相
Finally
談できるの
realized
は
he could talk to me about it.
気づいたの
Rina didn't look like she was joking. She just calmly told me what was going on. I couldn't even move. I couldn't tell if her words were a joke or the truth. I could only feel stunned.
私はね、もともとひなみ沢
I'm
に
from
住んでいたの。
Hinamizawa originally,
小学校に上がる直
but
前
I moved to
茨城に引っ越した
Ibaraki Prefecture right before I went to elementary school.
でも新しい環境に馴
However,
染めなく
when I
て
couldn't
ね、
adjust to my new environment,
心の中のお社様に
Oishiro-sama frequently started telling me to
帰れ
return
って
to
何度も
Hinamizawa
呼びかけられてた。
in my head.
でも小学
But
生の子が泣きな
I
がら
couldn't do
元の
anything
町に
since
帰
I
り
was
たいっ
just
て
a
言った
little
って
kid.
どうにもならないもんね。私は現実とお社様の声に板挟みにされて
Get
ず
off!
っと過ごすことになる。
But I couldn't do anything since I was just a little kid. I was forced to live there, though I felt threatened by Oishiro-sama's voice. Okay, it's not gonna work with this mouse. Get off.
そして
Then, Rena paused. It looked like she didn't want to go into details on what followed. In general, she confused me even more.
結局いろいろあって私はひなみ沢に帰ってくることができた。
Anyway, I was able to come back here in the end.
だからお社様には
Oishiro-sama forgave me.
あれ以来お社様の
I
気配を
haven't felt
感
his
じること
presence
はない。
anymore since then.
でもね、
Satoshi-kun is being
私と違って
subjected to the curse,
ひなみ沢にいながら
even though he's
お社
in
様の盾を受ける
Hinamizawa.
ことになった。それはなぜか。
Why?
理由は一
There
つ。
can only be one reason.
サトシ君は
It's because he wishes to abandon Hinamizawa.
その心を
Oishiro-sama won't allow that.
サトシ君は
After a series
自
of
問自
inner
答を何度も
monologues,
繰り返した
he
挙句に
confessed.
ほら、
You
サ
know,
トシ君
he's working a
アルバイト
part-time
をして
job,
るでしょ。
don't you?
サトコちゃんが欲しがっ
The
た
teddy bear he's getting for Satoko-chan costs about
10万円くらいする
100,000 yen.
サトシ君は
And he's trying to get the money for her
サトコちゃんの誕生日ま
birthday.
でにでもほら
Have you noticed it
考え
yet?
それだけのお金
Think
が
about it like this.
後先を
If he
考え
had
な
that
くてもいい
money,
なら
amount of money, that'd be enough for him to run away
逃げ出す
somewhere
十分
far
な
away
費用
from
にな
here.
りうるんだよ。サトシ君は
He had unconsciously started to think about that.
サトコちゃんを
But
捨て
leaving Satoko-chan
どこか
behind.
遠くへ逃げ出すお金に使ってしまいたいって。それはサトシ
But
君
he
にと
felt
っては
he felt
この
very
上なく罪
guilty.
深いこと。でも、さっ
As
き
you
みー
pointed
ちゃんが
out,
指摘したように、
Satoko-chan is a
サトコ
burden
ちゃんの存在
on
自体
him.
がサトシ君の負担になってるのは事実。サトシ君だって
He's not
バカじゃないも
he's
ん。
not stupid. He's aware of that.
兄として認めたくなかっただ
He
けで
just doesn't want to
サ
admit
トコちゃんが
it.
負担になってい
But
ること
he's the
には
only one
ちゃんと
who's
気づ
supposed
い
to
ている。
protect his little sister.
だからサトシ君は
He's
葛
been
藤してる
struggling
ん
with
だよ。
himself.
自分は
He thinks he's
妹を
working
喜
to
ばせる
please
ためのお
Satoko-chan
金を
on her
貯めるため
birthday.
にバイトをしているつもり。だけれども、それ
But
は
he also
自分の
feels
心を
that
騙してい
he
る
might
だ
be
けで、
deceiving himself
本当は自分が逃げ
because
出すため
he's
のお金を作るため
unconsciously
に
wants to skip town with
バイ
that
トして
money.
るんじゃないかって。私は逃げ出すべきじゃないと
I
思う。
don't think he should run away.
逃げ出したってサ
Even
トシ
if
君
he
は
did,
多分一生後悔
He
する。
regretted it for the rest of his life.
お社様だって
Oishiro-sama
それを
knows
分か
that.
ってるから
That's why Oishiro-sama is trying to warn
警
him.
告してくれているの。サトシ君の
I
心
hope
に
Satoshi-kun stops
サトコち
thinking
ゃんを
of
見捨てるなんて
abandoning
悪魔のささや
Satoko-chan.
きが。サトシ君は
He's working hard to
ま
make
た流しの
Satoko-chan's
数日後だって
birthday, which is
の
a couple of days
サトコちゃんの誕生日
after
にプレゼ
the
ントをもらい
Watanagashi
合わせるため
festival.
心も体も
He's pushing himself too hard.
そんな苦境が
He believes
き
it'll
っとサ
end
トコちゃんの
when
誕生日を
Satoko-chan's
境に
birthday
終わるんだっ
comes.
て。サトシ君
The
は
curse keeps
今もお
cautioning
社様
him
のたたりに苛まれている。サトコちゃんを守る
while he tries to
見
figure
捨て
out
るかの天秤の狭間に立たされながらね。
whenever he should leave or continue protecting her. The torrential rain didn't seem to want to stop. It kept pouring out down on the gravel iron roof, producing a loud noise. Yet in the shack, it felt completely silent. What the hell was Rena talking about? I couldn't grasp even half of what she was saying. The only thing I figured out is that Satoshi-kun was struggling, confused, and lots of pain. He's suffering from Oya Shirosama's curse. And Rena has experienced that before. The Watanagashi festival was right around the corner. Oya Shirosama's curse has struck 3 years in a row. There's no guarantee that it wouldn't strike a 4th time. Satoshi-kun was subject to Oya Shirosama's curse, even now. Was he going to skip town? Was he going to be the next victim of Oya Shirosama's curse? Either way, he might disappear forever. Could I do something to prevent it? If I didn't do anything, it would all come to a hopeless end. I started to feel a sense of dread. I didn't buy the crazy story Rena told me. But if something really was happening to Satoshi-kun, which might bring some kind of end, I couldn't help feeling scared. It's true, isn't it? My instinct is always correct. I decided to contact Mion despite the danger. Mion got upset at first, but she had listened to me.
おねえ
Sis,
サトシ君のことだけど
what's going on
どういうことになってるの
with Satoshi-kun?
最近だいぶ険しい様子なんだよ。
He looks really stressed out.
部活に声もかけられない
I
風
can't even talk to him.
何それ
What do you mean?
声をかけられないからサトシ君がどういう状況になってるかよく分かっ
You
てないっ
don't
て
know
こ
what's
と
going on because you can't talk to him? Sorry,
ごめん。
おねえ
sis.
キンキンにまた入れ替わる機会を設け
Give
てほし
me
い
give me another chance to trade spots again.
うん。それはもちろん構わない。
Alright, that's fine.
でも最近はちょっと
But I'm kind of busy lately, attending meetings for the festival.
日程の調整が難しいんだよ。何？
What are you planning to do?
またバイト？
Another part-time job?
私ひなみ沢の学校へ行く
I'm going to your school. Oh no, oh god, this is... I know what's gonna happen next. Fuck. Higurashi win the Kurai Kai. Oh, okay, we got 2 new notebooks. Let's look at the notebooks and we'll call it a night. Notebook 21, page 24. Okay, let me get a quick little drink. Heavy. Why don't I relate my encounter with that creepy girl in the rain? Her name is Rena Ryugu. Her real first name is Rina. I have no idea what kind of girl she really is. One thing is certain. She has no relation to the Sanosaki family. She has no relation to the 3 families as a whole, either. The Ryugu family used to live in Hinamizawa. But then they moved to Ibaraki. That's when she went to elementary school. But they returned to Hinamizawa some years later. Rena Ryugu said she came back because Oe Shiro-sama told her to. I don't know what that means. She said it was the curse of Oe Shiro-sama. That Oe Shiro-sama said had stalked her. I think that was probably a hallucination. But Satoshi-kun had been interested in that experience. She said that Satoshi-kun was also experiencing Oe Shiro-sama's curse. Satoshi-kun told her that he was being followed by some unknown existence. He was surprised to learn that Rina had the same experience before. What is Oyashiro-sama's curse? Why did Rina and Satoshi-kun have a similar experience? I believe that means that somebody put them under surveillance. Somebody must be spying on the next victim of the curse. Since Rina and Satoshi-kun both blindly believed in Oyashiro-sama's curse, they interpreted it as Oyashiro-sama's presence. If paranoia kicked in, they feel it as if they were experiencing paranormal phenomenon. Judging from what Rina said, it seems that Satoshi-kun had been put on surveillance since long before Watanagashi. So, one question comes to mind. Why were they watching Rina? I'm assuming that this surveillance was placed on a victim to be that year. If so, I don't understand why Rina went through it. Why did they watch her, even though she was living so far away? She was considered somebody who abandoned the village. I could understand. But she didn't fall a victim in the end. Maybe she was forgiven because she came back to Hinamizawa. I guess she still knows something I don't. Oh, are these notebooks belonging to... Okay, I get it. I think. Let's see what this one says. Satoshi-kun looked terrible. When he went home, he had to meditate a fight between Sadako and their aunt. He became mentally exhausted. He went to work every day. He became physically exhausted. He no longer communicated with his classmates. He's either slept on his desk or is going somewhere during lunch break. He used to be really gentle. It was painful to see him suffering like that. On top of all that, he was dealing with the curse of Oishiro-sama. He must have been completely, totally, and absolutely exhausted. The curse that was a form of surveillance by those planning to victimize Satoshi-kun that year. That means that the other victim was in the same situation. Satoshi-kun's aunt had also been watched. Did she not notice me presence? What about the others? Did the victims of the previous incidents also experience it? I need to investigate the facts in order to prove the curse on Satoshi-kun was actually just surveillance. It is surveillance. Surveillance. Paranoia? Or really the curse? Alright, so I have a good idea who this character is. Let's continue. I'm just kidding. Not now, Chi-sensei. But it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. So say that. And we close the game. And that comes back up for some reason. I have no idea why. Okay. Alright. Exactly at 10:30. In 2 hours into the stream. Wow, that's almost a good even number. Oh, not exactly even. Even, yeah. Alright, thank you all for popping up tonight. Thank you. It was fun reading this. I love reading the VMs. I love them. I really do. Okay, so tomorrow is Umineko. I was going to try and do a whole schedule, but knowing Thanksgiving and stuff, I'm probably not going to do that. But, so I'm not exactly sure what other streams we're going to do for the week. I know I want to do that one, the cooking simulator. We're going to do that probably on Wednesday or Tuesday. But I'm not sure, because I don't need to try to focus more on the book. So, I'll figure it out. I'll play by ear. So hopefully we'll try to get a more better consistent schedule in December. Hopefully. I can't make promises. I want to make promises, but I can't. Alright. I love you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, morning, evening, wherever you may be in the world. And may the witches curse you with amazing nightmares. See you later. Bye-bye.